World Oceans Day is actually June 8th, but Korea, a country surrounded by waters and heavily dependent on fisheries, celebrates it early. To mark the special day, our Lee Unshin sheds light on how to treasure and better take care of the most valued natural resource of the nation.
The beach is, of course, great for a getaway, but the ocean provides us with a lot more than just a place to have fun. The living things in the sea become food for people, and they're used in medicines and cosmetics. And all these industries depend on us having clean water and healthy ecosystems. But are we taking care of nature as well as we could be? The oceans are vast, but their resources are limited.
Over the last few decades, the damage done to the sea has led to some jaw-dropping results. Fish species used by humans have seen their populations fall by nearly 50% in 50 years. And the decline is even more dramatic in terms of the fish that local communities rely on for their livelihoods. During that half-century, the numbers of mackerel and tuna have shrunk by more than 70%. The most rapid decline was some time ago, between 1976 and 1990, but experts say there is still no sign of a recovery overall.
So probably we should say it's in crisis. If we look at some key indicators, overfishing is a massive problem. So over 90% of fish stocks are either at their limit or beyond their limit. Climate change is a huge factor, so the ocean's becoming warmer, more acidic. So that has a huge impact on habitats. We could lose all coral reefs by 2050. Plastic pollution is a massive problem, and we could have more plastic than fish in the ocean by 2050. So those are some global trends, and from our studies, we find that the same trends are true for the domestic waters in Korea too.
In fact, fish stocks in Korea's own waters have fallen sharply since the mid-90s, now estimated to be just at 57% of what they were in the 1950s. Some 750 tons of rubbish is found at the nation's beaches at fishing spots every year, and it costs more than $700,000 annually to get rid of it. The government is trying to do something about this through regulation, and global organizations are coming up with resource management plans. Starting in July, Korea will ban the use of microplastics in cosmetics. These plastic particles are among the biggest threats to ocean ecosystems, as they are consumed by sea creatures and then make their way up the food chain to the dinner table. And the Oceans Ministry's project of building what it calls a forest underwater aims to increase the seaweed cultivation to 54,000 hectares by 2030, so the shrinking species can be bred in fish farms.
Is on overfishing. We look at how we can work with companies to adopt certification schemes, which basically help to ensure that fishing is done within safe limits, and it minimizes some of the effects on the ecosystem, like pollution. So that's partly working with companies, at the same time helping the public to choose more sustainable options.
The role of the government is pivotal, especially when it comes to topics like global climate change, to push for a future powered by clean energy. But the process of repairing large-scale damage is long, and it requires coordination by the public and private sectors.
Even the regulations that are in place, from allowed period of fishery for certain types of fish to the size of fishing nets, are poorly followed. These matters cannot be solved unless residents realize the value of the ecosystem. The more people are educated about the ocean, the more specific government rules become, and the more voluntarily those can be followed.
And just as crucial is broadening research, regular health checkups, as the experts call it. The ocean is considered natural capital, but in terms of how it enriches our lives, you can't put a price tag on it. And for Korea, a country surrounded by 3 seas from which it has gained so much, giving back is long overdue. That's not only the way to keep industries afloat that depend on the sea, it's how we'll be able to keep the treasures we get from the ocean for centuries to come. Lee Unshin, Arirang News.